Let's start the concept of units and measurement. It is important, but let's understand. Okay, basically, what is the measurement and the unit are some terms which we define. Okay, the measurement is like we measure anything, and the unit is that how we describe the measurement. For example, I written the 5, and I say that the table, like where you, or like at the computer where you was the lectures or the mobile phone, I say that it is the distance from the 5 away from, like example, like I'm saying that the 1 away basically. Okay, if I say that the laptop is, or the phone is 1 away from the your basically eye level, so you ask like, sir, what is the like one, what is like 1 meter, have you here like in previous, like 1 meter, 1 inches, 1 centimeters, what is? So I say that 1 meter away from your from you, the distance. So we basically now we determined something which is the distance. We may be something measured in terms of, like we measure in terms of like 1 and meter. So what you understand by this? So here something is called the number, and plus a quantity, I am saying this is the unit. Okay, each I am saying this is the something which was written in we say like the unit. So we measure the terms, the distance in terms of number, which was the distance, and the meter, like the unit. So anything, like I'm saying that the speed of light is very well known. Okay, I would say that the speed of light, basically the speed. So we already know the distance upon time is the measurement, the unit of speed. So what is this? Here the distance is in the meter and time is in the second. So basically we get the speed, and here we get in the meter. So by these we have two types of the units. The units are basically two types, like the meter, and we get from these two. Okay, so we have two basic units. First is fundamental, and the second is drive unit. Okay, now let's understand what is the fundamental and the drive. So fundamental units is a kind of like it is called basically base units. Okay, it is called basically the base units. So what about the base units? Base units is like the actual unit, like all the units are derived from those. For example, I'm saying that in our alphabetical, in the alphabetics, so we know that the A, the B, and the C are total of 26 letters. So these are base letters, and all the other letters, like say fundamental, is derived from the combinations of these 26 letters, like F from 6, U from 21, and N from something else. So we create this fundamental. So base, so that's, so here the base units are 7. Okay, and all other units, like the speed, is derived from the 7 base units, like the 2 from these 7s, like the distance and the time. Okay, so these 7 base units are important, and the other where we obtain the units are from these 7 units. Okay, so let's understand what are these 7 units. Before, let's understand the units. Okay, so why we need the units? Okay, here the units are different times, like the CGS, centimeter, gram, second, MKS, meter, kilogram per second, and some other units. Okay, so the CGS unit is like another country use the CGS unit, in another country use the MKS unit. For example, a student, okay, like say the student or the country, so the country, I say the student 1 and the country, okay, student 2, okay. If both are using the different, like the student 1 is use the centimeter, we can say that the centimeter for 1, like 1 centimeter, and second is the per meter, okay. Okay, so imagine if you say that both countries or the students work together for the making an aeroplane or anything else, so there is a confusion, like one is using for the centimeter, second using for the meter. So for solving these confusions, the international unit system unit introduce the SI unit system, the international unit system, basically international unit system, okay, which was in some 90s 60s to 84 something. So they introduced the international SI unit. So now we move our 7 basic units, 7 units. So first, like the mass, M, the SI unit, and then kilogram, the mass SI unit, the symbol, and the kilogram, the mass SI unit. And then I've said the meter, M for meter, the length for M. Similarly, for time, I say second is S, and for the current, I say ampere, which is an A. And similarly for the mole, the number of elements, like the entries again to number 616 10 to the power 23, it is M, N basically mole. And at last is the candela, for the brightness of the light, say IV, and the Kelvin for temperature, for Kelvin, okay. I don't use the like standard textbook, like first they introduce meter, then mass, then time, then ampere, then mole, then the temperature, then mole, then candle, but the randomly, you understand, like whatever you want. So basically for the weight, the mass, the length, the meter, time for the second, ampere for the current, the entries, number of entries, like the mole, and for the brightness, candela means either the brightness of light, brightness of light can we say that candela, and the temperature is Kelvin, okay. So I hope you understand. So let's summarize the whole concept. The measurement is like the number plus of units, the number plus of unit, we measure the all quantities. And the physical quantities is like can be measured from this. So units, number and units, the units where, okay, so units are like two types, fundamental and derived units. Fundamental units are base units like CGS, MKS, and SI unit system, internationally unit system, mass, meter, time, ampere, mole, candle, temperature, okay. And derived unit is I explain that again. The derived unit is combine two or more fundamental base unit basically, and we get these units. Light speed, like distance upon time, force, and density, basically the density it is rho, like the mass upon volume, that is the meter cube. These are some fact. Okay, I hope you understand. If you understand, like and subscribe. Bye.